I spent time in Norman, Oklahoma, the outskirts of Norman, Oklahoma. I had relatives up at Greenfield, Julia and Anthony Davis, and I spent some time, in that home, and that's where I got Arapaho from her. And she would, but it was interesting. I remember when I was in school and I was, able to drive and get out there and visit with her, because I was interested in the language. She would always wait until late at night, and my recollection has always been when the language started happening, it was always late at night. We were in the kitchen, at the kitchen table. Everyone was asleep. There was one light on in the house, and she would always talk the language in whispers. The Yuchi out at Sapulpa, they were down to about 8 speakers. Most of them were in their late 60s, early 70s. They are generating new speakers when they were down to about 6. The Taloa in California were down to about 6 speakers. Similar kind of story. One individual who studied the language at Berkeley, I believe, Taloa, he made it his mission to raise his children in the language, and those 3 children now have children, and they are the ones who are bringing the language back. Further down the coast, the Hupa, one individual there, he's the youngest speaker in that community. He's about maybe in his mid-30s or early 30s. He's doing incredible things with the language. So, yes, there is hope. As far as the state, I mentioned earlier, what I have seen as far as language loss in both communities, in Wyoming and here in Oklahoma, there's probably less than 1% left of people who can function in the language, who were, when compared to the number of speakers that existed, 40, 50 or 60 years ago. And then forget it. I mean, if you then go back even beyond that, it's 1%. There might be three speakers left, 3 to 6 speakers left, and they're all in their late 80s. In Wyoming, it's really no better. Or small, it's better, but it's moving in the same direction. But if you go into Montana, where the Atsina are, the Gros Ventre, they speak a dialect of Arapaho, and it's probably the oldest dialect of Arapaho. They were down to about 6 speakers, and 2 families just threw themselves in the language, and now they're generating speakers. So last night I was up at Canton doing a language class with about 20 people. In roughly about 100 minutes with the people that were there, they were exposed to and have cognition of over 50 phrases in Arapaho in 100 minutes. I've long been concerned about the Arapaho language, and I'm here. I want to set a fire under people about the language, to get them to have them see that learning language is possible. It's fun. We had fun last night. This 9-year-old girl literally burned through 40 phrases in about 12 minutes. I know she's all jazzed up and ready to, she wants more. I know it. This is one of the things that I want. But on a sidebar, this is going to sound odd. I have had contact with people who are working with dolphins, and some of them think that what I have developed for language acquisition can work with dolphins. And so I'm slowly moving in a direction to see if I can break that language communication barrier between dolphins and humans. Initially, the idea was to do it to show native communities that if a dolphin can understand Arapaho and follow directions in Arapaho and cross-communicate, then people can do it. People can do it too. So what I said was speak your language because your life is your language.